What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to your evening show. What is happening? What is happening? We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Owen joins me. Interesting full view yesterday. Loads of opinions, and that's crazy show. Crazy show. Love to everyone that's come in. We are, just to let you guys know before we carry on though, we are, let me just check. We are about 20 or so subscribers off 75k. So do I even need to mention what to do during this stream? If you can, big up yourself. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you lot do that. So we can get to 75k during this show. Owen, let's get into it, man. Like, there's let's get into this. There's a lot out there, which is to be expected. I don't think Solskjaer's anywhere near losing his job. That's the first thing. Whether you agree with it or whether you don't agree with it, whether you think he should go, whether you're concerned with the style of play, like myself, etc., whatever you think, he couldn't be further from being sacked, but he's not in trouble. He's not in trouble.
Not anytime soon. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Exactly. Not anytime soon. But there are a few outlets kind of reporting that, Solskjaer has the unwavering support. He was given a 3-year contract extension because they believe he's the man, and that has not changed. That was from ESPN, which aren't always, the top of the list when it comes to credibility and reliability. They're okay, but I've seen some other outlets as well kind of go with that, and that's what happens when it gets a little bit iffy with some of the results. A lot of the kind of UK-based journalists will just pick up the phone, go with someone in the club, and they'll get something from the club that says, "Listen, Solskjaer's completely safe. It's all fine." And then that kind of gets pushed out. But even those guys, I don't even think have bothered doing that. Your Samuel Luckhurst, your what's the other guy from the BBC, Simon Stone, Laurie Whitwell, all these types of guys that are inside, in and around the club. Andy Mittens, they haven't even come out and even said, "Don't worry, Solskjaer has the backing," because it doesn't even need to happen right now.
No, exactly. And I think, to be honest, we've heard this before. I mean, it's very rare that a board will come out and be like, "Yeah, if he doesn't win the next game, he's going tomorrow." It doesn't happen. And like you said, it almost like it doesn't need to be said. By the way, Dwayne West, this was not planned. It was not planned. We literally just came into the room a second ago and went, "Oh, we're both wearing blue." But so maybe that's how we're feeling. It's very psychological. We're wearing blue.
We got the blues, bro.
Blue.
Obviously not Man City blues, but we're feeling just a little bit blues. Yeah. We've got a little bit of blues. We need Wednesday to come and get a big result.
Exactly. But yeah, he's not. Look, there are absolute discussion points, and there are opinions out there, like we've been saying just off stream, that are completely valid. With people that have issues with the style of play, playing in moments, individual performances, no patterns of play, all that kind of stuff. They are so valid, so valid. But the idea that Solskjaer needs backing from the board, or the idea that the board have to come out and say, "Oh yeah, we're going to back Ollie, he's not going anywhere anytime soon." We know he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He can lose on Wednesday and he won't get sacked, because he won't. Manchester United, most of the time, they wait until things are mathematically impossible anymore. You know what I mean? So it will take Solskjaer to go out of the Champions League. It will take Solskjaer to not get through this group that we should get through. It will take Solskjaer to be like, right, we're already 15 points off the top of the league, or 18 points off the top of the league. We ain't winning the league this season, or whatever it may be. That's when the discussions will be had. That's why I keep saying Solskjaer is going to last to the end of the season, because, that's the way we play without the style of play. We win games, we'll go on a bit of a run, then we'll lose a couple of games and we'll go on the run. But Solskjaer just very rarely has these runs where he just loses 5 or 6 games in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah, never.
And it gets catastrophic. It just doesn't really happen under him. But at the end of the season, if there is no trophy, that's when he will be judged. And again, I know that's not really the popular opinion, because a lot of people want Manchester United to be proactive and to be like Chelsea were last season, going, "You know what? We are 4 for whatever, but this isn't good enough for the money we've spent. Let's change things." But historically, when have United done that? We don't do it. You know what I mean? Exactly. And I was kind of talking to DJ about it last night as well, off stream, and I was saying, I'm almost I just don't want to make myself angry when I know I can't change anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of I could be manager should go tomorrow. I think we should get a different manager and all that kind of stuff. But I know that's not a reality. That's just not going to happen. And maybe in my mind, I'm going, well, I hope he turns it around, and I hope he does win something. Do I really think that's going to happen? I don't even know anymore. Flex.
No, it's not. It's not. Alabi Paul says it'll be interesting to see what the midfield setup is on Wednesday. It definitely will be. Steve K says, what has Donny van der Beek got to do to get a run of games? Probably move team. That's what he's got to do to get a run of games. And Michael Jones says midfield is the biggest problem at United, which I agree with 100%. Well, actually, no, I don't agree with that, actually. Well, it is in terms of our personnel, but the biggest problem at United is the coaching. It is that.
Yeah,
I still think with the players that we've got, we could still put together a midfield that plays better than the one that we do have, although we need a defensive midfielder. But I do get you that the position we need most is a midfielder. I am not surprised one bit, obviously, of the backing that Ollie's receiving from the club. You know, I don't even think, you know, we went with that headline, but I don't even think that loads of outlets, like I said at the top of the show, have even been going to check. It's not even a going to check stage. Yes, in the last 4 games, we've lost 3. Not good. Yeah. It's actually not good because you're including the cup, the Champions League and the Carabao Cup, and it isn't good enough. But it doesn't feel like anything's imminent. You know, you go and win on Wednesday, it calms it. You get a good result against Everton, could be top of the league.
Yeah,
the results.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And but I think that though, in a weird way, that is actually the people who don't think Ollie is going to be the right man are not interested in. So what if we're top? So what if we win the next 2 games? They're looking at a much wider context. Well, some people just have an agenda, wanting to fail, who don't like him, like I said. But I think a lot of people who have taken their time to arrive at a situation where they don't think Ollie is the right man won't be convinced if we beat Villarreal, won't be convinced if we beat Everton in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
And we're sitting...
And they might even themselves expect us to beat Villarreal. You know?
Exactly.
And I think that's their point.
Part of the reason. That is exactly their point, Owen.
Exactly.
And that's the
you know, I think that's their point, is that we might beat Villarreal and we might get through the group. But are we going to win the Champions League? Probably not. Are we going to win the Premier League? In their eyes, probably not. And I think it's that's their point of view of, well, if we know probably, and again, you never know, but we know probably what the outcome is going to be, why wouldn't we be a bit proactive and, you know, try and change things up early? Because that's the thing. When we say things aren't going to change, but that's in everything. Things aren't going to change in terms of the manager leaving anytime soon, but also things aren't going to change in terms of the style of football that we play anytime soon. Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing at all. And I think that's the frustration as well, that where is the progression? And probably there isn't any. But because of the way we play, we might win on Wednesday and we might win at the weekend as well. And then this conversation about is Ollie the right man, et cetera, will get pushed back for a couple more weeks. And then we'll go on a run of losing a couple of games. And then that conversation once again will come back to, where's the progression? We were having this conversation in September. It's now November. What are we doing here? And I think that's the frustrating thing, I think, for those guys, which is fair.
I agree. Michael Jones says it's coaching staff also flex. I agree with that. Ivan says, honestly, flex, do you think Ollie is good enough? Well, I think this season will tell me whether he's good enough or not. Deep down, do I think Ollie's good enough to win the Premier League, the Champions League? No, I don't. And I know that automatically makes people say, so then why is he good enough to be our manager? I get it. I understand. But I just feel I can't argue that. No, I can't. So essentially, yeah, I don't think he's good enough to win the Champions League and the Premier League this year. But our squad is. Our squad's good enough to do that. And I think this is the only thing that's buying into Ollie's. And I said it at the beginning of the season, and that's why I'm kind of still in that camp of it's trying my patience more than it was. But at the beginning of the season, only at the middle of August, I said, okay, Ollie's now got this squad to a point where he can't have any excuses of he's building or he needs to get this player out or he needs to that or he needs this. He's got everything bar a central midfielder. Everything. Hasn't he, really? Yeah. And maybe a backup right back, but he kept Dallo, so we do have a backup right back. We've got a backup left back. But in terms, you've got a starting centre back in Varane. You should have what should be a starter in Jadon Sancho, but clearly, all right, cool, we'll wait and see what happens. But you've got a wealth of talent there. You add Ronaldo into that. You kept Cavani. You kept Paul Pogba. He didn't go anywhere in the summer. He's still here. You still got Donny van de Beek. You kept him. So there's no excuses, Ivan. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Ollie to deliver. And when he doesn't deliver, that's when me personally, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I can't see the progression. I think it's time for a change. But he's got a whole host of the season left, and it just depends on how he does. Look, at the end of the day, we are capable. Like I said yesterday, when was it yesterday? Yeah, Sunday. Yesterday, we're capable of winning games, a lot of games, because we've got very good players. I keep saying it, and I'm bored of saying it, but it's the truth.
Look at the away record.
The away record is incredible. You know, that doesn't happen by accident. You know, those are positives. That is a massive positive. But I did say as well in another show a few weeks ago or a few days ago, I can't remember. Like, it's all good having that away record, but if you finish third, if you finish second, if you don't get to any finals, if you don't win anything, I'd rather have a shit away record and win more. Do you know what I mean? Not shit away record, because that probably means you won't win stuff, but not as good as that. Unbeaten in however many games. I'd rather have 4 losses in there if it took away 9 draws. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
and turn them 9 draws into wins. But we've been beaten 4 times in the last however long. Do you know? So it doesn't really, that's why I don't really get too cozy with that, because it doesn't mean anything unless we turn that into, wow, we're solid away from home, we never lose, and we take care of business at home, and that's why we're challenging for the top stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that's not the case.
I agree with you. I think I'm a bit like you. Like I don't know if it's fair to say on the fence, but I'm also, my perspective on it always has been, he will be judged this season. Come the end of the season, which again is how long I think he will last, that's when he will be held up to say, you didn't win this trophy, or you didn't win any trophies, and you didn't win the league, and you had to be challenging, or you had to be delivering a trophy. That's when he'll be in trouble. And you know, if we do get to the December time and we're miles off it and we're out of the Champions League, then I've said on many a match reaction here on the channel then I'm with you. Then I'll say he has to go, because that's not good enough. And it isn't good enough to be going, well, if we just had that darn defensive midfielder, oh, it would be so different. No. If you're a good coach, if you're a good manager, you come up with solutions, and you go, this is my pool of players. I have to find a way to get the best out of these players. I have to find a way to implement the style of play I want to play, even if it means, I don't know, whatever, changing how my own philosophy a little bit. I need to know how to get the best out of these players, or I need to find a way to implement my style of play. Just because I don't have the perfect exact starting 11 that I want, nobody does. Nobody does. Even the best teams in the world don't. Even people like they've got all the money, like Man City, they don't have the perfect starting 11 that they want right now. They don't have a striker. You know, because football doesn't work like that. Again, you find solutions. And I think the narrative of he can't come out and say, well, I didn't have a defensive midfielder, because that's not good enough. Come on. We know that's not good enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100% agree. Scott Kelter says, what trophy do you get for away wins? None. 100%. You don't get any trophies for that. And Sanka says, Ollie has built a great squad. Thanks. Leave now. And you know, those are things that Ollie's doorstep that he has done. Change the culture, you know, change the recruitment, get a feel-good factor. But with that, people say, okay, you've done all that behind the scenes to get the club to where it needed to be. Now it's time to pass the baton, because you don't have what it takes to go to the next level. That's a lot of people's argument. Yeah. Lewis McElhaney says, do you think if we kept Herrera, we would be better off in midfield? Swap Fred for Herrera, and I think we'd be set. I think Herrera's better than Fred on the ball. He's a better player than Fred. But even when Herrera was there and getting towards the end, yes, he was doing well. But I was personally still saying we still need better than Herrera. Like,
I think,
do you know what I mean?
We'd still be looking for options because of his age as well at this point, wouldn't we?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, but in contrast to what he's actually saying, though, like, he is better than Fred. What we've got, he's better than Fred. But then again, we've got Donny van de Beek. Let's play it like, I know we're going to keep going over.
Find solutions.
Donny's better than probably both.
Exactly. Find solutions, or go, these are the players I've got. Let's find a way to make sure that I can play the majority of them, or find the way that I can get them onto the pitch. It's this idea in his mind that, like, this 4-2-3-1, that has to come first. That has to come first. And if Donny doesn't fit into that, he doesn't fit into that. So, well, no, in reality, shouldn't you be like, these are the players I've got. Shouldn't I be finding a way to get him into the side? Or shouldn't I be finding a way of going, you know what? Why am I being so defensive? Last season, I get it, protecting the back four because the back four wasn't good enough. But isn't that why you signed Rafael Varane in the first place? So we don't need that protection anymore. You know, maybe we do need one defensive midfielder, but even then, like, have a Matic playing and then have Donny van der Beek or whoever. We don't need that protection. And I think that, again, that's the frustrating thing. But come Wednesday, you know for a fact it's going to be 4-2-3-1. Most likely it's going to be McFred playing. And we might win because of, again, individual brilliance, playing in moments. We might score an early goal and then they completely capitulate or whatever. But we know what we're going to get. But like you said, that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable to win things, to have the consistency to win things. And I think that's the frustration that people will have.
Yeah, and look, Real Madrid, Villarreal just got a draw to Real Madrid away from home. The last
they've drawn every game this season.
Yeah,
see that?
It's crazy.
They haven't won a match since they played us in the Europa League final, including pre-season friendlies. It's only been draws and losses, and in the league this year, it's just been all draws.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's
incredible. Winning.
Oh, no, they've won one. They've won one in La Liga. They played 6, won 1, drawn 5, but not far off what you're saying. And but even away from that, we know how difficult a team they are to play against. Like, they're not great. Again, it annoys me, and really, I feel like a bit of an idiot saying it because we've had a chance to play them and not been able to win. So, but you look at them as a team, and I'm like, they're not that good. We should be finding a way to beat these guys, but we can't do it, and it's going to be no different on on Wednesday night. No difference. It's going to be really, really tough to beat them. Am I going to predict that we win? I always like to predict that we're going to win, but I think it's going to be really tough,
isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the frustrating thing.
I'm not confident.
And if I always hate to compare it to, like, City or Liverpool or Chelsea or whatever, but if you saw in the Champions League Man City are playing Villarreal at home, you'd go, I don't even need to watch the game. I know what the result's going to be. The issue is with, like, United is, like, probably we should win, but
could be an upset there.
But you don't know. You really don't know, because you don't know what Man United side are going to shut up. You really don't. You don't have a clue, and that's the consistency that isn't there because of having no pattern of play. If it comes down to let's hope that we have some individual brilliance tonight, sometimes it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, then you never know.
Pablo says Ollie ring fence in his job. He has no tactical strategy, and he won't get this slack anywhere else. And I know United is like a box of chocolate. Chocolates, you never know which one you're going to get, which is true. We are so up and down right now. It's unbelievable. Like, we're so capable of putting in a master. Not even no, because actually, even when we win, they're very rarely a masterful performance from minute one to. There was always kind of quite a few moments where it wasn't quite going our way, and then we blitzed the team within a 10-15 minute period. The performance levels always struggle to stay up here. Do you know what I mean? Throughout the game, they're like our performance levels are like an ECG. That's actually what they're like. They literally just do that. You know what I mean? If you plugged in the thing and put it on my chest, that would be a United performance like this throughout 90 minutes and throughout the season. It just does that. And you can't get either an upwards trajectory, as in starting off bad and then finishing off the game really well, so you keep going up through the performance, or you can't just have the bar up here and just be a flat line of a really good performance. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. And that's a frustrating thing. But that Villarreal game, I know we've got previews and that coming out, so we won't get too much into it, but it is going to be one to watch out for, because I do think it's going to be a tough one. David Naheen says, what's up, guys? I feel like Ollie is doing things his way no matter what the question. No matter what, but the question we are not asking is, why are the players still backing his SH? What's that stand for? I don't know. That's a good one. Style, no. Basically, must be backing him anyway. Why are the players still backing his SH?
Shit house.
His shit. His shit house. I don't know. But big up David Heen anyway. But yeah, why are the players still back? Look, the players aren't going to turn against Ollie. They're not. No. They're not going to turn against Ollie. I don't think they should.
Interesting though. It is interesting though, because I mentioned this before. Like,
everyone's just saying shit. He means shit. Yeah. Ran out of letters, so he just put SH. Fair enough.
You do wonder, like, say, like, what a Ronaldo thinks when he's sitting there, because he's been managed by some of the best coaches in the world, and he knows football, right? He must be like, when they go through like the pre-match stuff, or they go through the training in the week, he must know whether it's up to the standard to win stuff or not. And it'll be interesting to see, and I mentioned this at the time when he first signed, it'll be interesting to see how long he stands for that, because make no mistake, if Man United are miles off it, and if Ronaldo, it's not just Man United going out. If we go out the group stage, if Ronaldo going out in the group stage as well, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like that's embarrassing for
I'm
him
gonna say
and his
this.
brand. You know?
If he goes out in the groups, bro, that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah. He'll be in massive trouble.
That because you know what's really mad, Owen? You know what's really mad? I don't think we'll go out in the groups, but just say we did go out in the groups. I bet we'd go out in the groups under these circumstances. Go out, but would be like top of the league though, or like second in the league, or like a couple points
that's what
off.
I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Go
and which means we'll get sacked.
But 3 points off top or 4 points off top, in a case of we've got
FA
some big
Cup
games coming up.
Yet.
If we beat Liverpool, if we beat City, we might be top of the league. And I think that's what we kind of get into. We get into these sort of weird hypothetical
I'm
scenarios.
sorry, I don't care about the being top of the league. If we go out of the Champions League in December, right, by the time we played our last group game, we're out in that group, especially after last year. Failed to get out of the group 2 years running.
100%.
Not having that.
100%. I mean, God, and that's the thing. Tomorrow, he has to win tomorrow. Even if we drew, the pressure would be massive, absolutely massive.
100%. Belly Visual says, me personally, I'll play 3 at the back with wing backs with Dalot and Telles. They are able to whip balls in compared to what we have already. And in my match view, my match roundup, I just forgot Telles was there, and I felt really bad because I was like, I'm really worried. Wan-Bissaka's obviously got a red card, so Dalot's going to have to play. Lindelof's going to have to come in for Maguire. I don't know if he's going to shake that off. We'll probably get an injury update yesterday. And I was like, and who's going to play left back? We got no one. We don't have Brandon Williams anymore. We can't put Dalot there, so we won't have a right back. What are we going to do? Have to put Lindelof right back and Dalot left back? What are we going to do? And someone in the comments was like, Flex, I swear we literally have Telles. I swear he plays for us. And I was like, you know what? I was so angry at the loss to Villa. I actually forgot. And you know what? And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's just me being honest with myself and to you guys. I probably did overlook Telles because he was awful against West Ham and just forgot.
Really bad first half. Really bad first half.
Which he's trying. He doesn't play often. I understand that. I'm not one of these fans who, if someone doesn't play often and they come in and have a stinker, you give him pelters. But that's probably why I overlooked him. So yeah, would you? Ollie's definitely not going to do that. But would you change up the formation?
I mean, like I said before, if I was him, I'd be like, right, obviously what I'm doing. This is the thing with him as well. It'd be like, because he would be like but he would be like, well, technically it is working because we came second last year and because we got to a final. And if you look year on year, because if you look on paper, he will be like, well, the graph does go up gradually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I say at the end of the season he'll be judged because the graph has been going up. And at the end of the season, it should be, okay, there's a trophy. And if it's not there, then he will be in trouble. But if I was him, I'd be like, okay, right. We're playing at home. We should be going 4-3-3 or, going 3 at the back and trying to find a way to get some of these attacking players in and not having to, hold in midfielders and stuff like that. But he won't. Won't. And that's why I said before the game at the weekend when McFred was announced and everyone got absolutely, I can't believe McFred's playing. And I went, really? You can't believe they're playing?
Why can't you believe it?
Yeah, exactly. That's like getting angry going I can't believe the sun came out today. I woke up and the sky was blue. Oh, that's crazy. I was like, no, you knew that was going to happen. You
knew, yeah.
That's the frustrating thing.
Shakara says, Ollie is an amazing caretaker, but an average manager. The caretaking is done. They need to start scouting for a new manager for the summer. And Keegan says, I knew we were effed when KG named all our plays on one hand and Ollie's inability to adapt the gameplay as the game develops. Pogba is not efficient enough as well. Moving on, just to kind of round up on Ollie, let us know your thoughts. Well, do you know what? Everyone's let us know their thoughts on Ollie, actually. So I think I've got. I think a lot of people who watch the channel are Ollie out. I have to say that when you look at the comments in most
DJ
shows,
is, by the way.
Wow, can't believe that.
Unbelievable.
Can't believe that. Yeah,
I think KG's a flip flopper, and I know DJ's watching this. DJ, unbelievable. I was stunned.
You'll have to wait for DJ to be on the next show to see what's happened in the group chat. But DJ has changed. Belly Visual says play Ronaldo and Cavani up front. Play Varane, Lindelof, who's able to play better balls than Maguire. Also play Wan-Bissaka. Or you can't. Well, you mean in general? I thought you meant in the next game. Midfield: Van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno. Okay. Well, if you want those two up front, you're going to have to play either a 4-4-2 or put 5 at the back and take out a midfielder and put 2, which I cannot see that happening at all. Moving on to Marcus Rashford. Let's talk about him real quick. Reports coming out. Well, he said, I see the doctor tomorrow, and hopefully everything's okay. I shall be given the green light to start contact training. And there was also a report today that was basically saying his ankle ligament tear has fully healed during his recovery from shoulder surgery. And this is the thing that actually pisses me off about it, right? Fantastic that he's getting better. Fantastic he's had this amount of time. Yeah, no. Context here. Yeah. No, this is the thing that pisses me off. Not the fact that he's getting better. Obviously, that's fantastic. The fact that, as they're saying now, his ligament. Let me get the actual quote. His ankle ligament tear has fully healed. His ankle ligament tear. The reason why it didn't heal the first, remember, his shoulders hurt, nothing to do with his feet.
Yeah.
So he needed the rest. He needed the rest to just be out like this for a good couple of months, good solid couple of months, maybe even going on 3 months now. It'll be by the time he actually plays again. And we just couldn't give him that. And I know he came out with the post saying, if I could do it differently, maybe I should have. And I went to the Euros knowing I wasn't quite there. And he was kind of second guessing himself. I get it. But nobody pulled rank above the player. It's almost like when a player gets a bang to the head, their first thing is, I'm all right. He could be vomiting, could be dizzy. A boxer who's on the ropes. They say to their trainer, I'm good. No, mate.
Yeah.
Your eyes closed. I haven't got a white towel right now. But here's the towel. I'm throwing it in. I'm gonna pull rank. And I feel like Rashford could have been back a lot sooner than this. If he would have got that time out. But it is brilliant to see that he's back. And you know what? When he does come back, he is going to be like a new signing, I feel. After that, we're forgetting that not forgetting that we got Marcus Rashford, but you do just kind of take your eye off that actually there's another player to come into that. Now, some people in the fan views have been saying that actually might give us another problem because what you're going to do with Pogba. We'll get there. I mean, in the shows leading up to that, I think that's going to dominate. Because it's going to take Rashford a while to get Lingard. It's going to be incredible.
Marshall.
But one thing we do know, is that Rashford is the main guy for the left wing.
Oh,
the main
100%.
guy. And Ollie will be looking to get him back in as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you when it comes to the injury thing, but that's been going on for, I want to say 2 years. It's been going on for a really long time.
He had the back one before, remember?
Back one. Back one, ankle one, and then it was working through. The back one was when he got brought on. Was it a League Cup game? Was it a League Cup game, FA Cup game?
FA Cup Wolves replay.
Yeah.
And then fell on it, and then he was out for the rest of the season.
And he would have been out if it wasn't for, obviously the break because of the pandemic. He would have been out for the rest of the season. He would have missed the original.
Oh, yeah, that was it. The pandemic came. Yeah.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah.
It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? And but it's been going on for ages. And it's a case of like you said, pulling rank and kind of just going, look, it's inevitably at some point he had to be out. He had to be out for 3 months. And it's a case of United trying to pick the best time for it. When was the best time for him to be out? When's the best time to be out? And to be honest, I was saying this last season, I almost credit him for the standard that he was playing at last season when obviously physically he was a mess, an absolute mess. He had a bad shoulder, bad ankle that hadn't recovered, I'm sure that needed surgery. And he still had high levels last year and was still winning us games. You have to give massive credit. So it is going to be like a new signing because we haven't had a healthy Marcus Rashford for 2 years or something like that.
And on top of that, this is from James Ducker from Telegraph, said Marcus Rashford could be in the squad against Leicester on October the 16th if the resumption of collective training and closed-door games scheduled during the international break goes well, because there is also a behind closed-door game scheduled for in the international break for Marcus Rashford to get fit again.
Exactly, just pure Marcus.
Just for Marcus. Get a whole squad of 18 players from another club to get in there and get him fit.
Exactly.
But yeah, sorry, carry on.
But yeah, no, I think he'll be like a new signing for us. My concern would be, and I think this was the concern back then, is that people forget how young he is still. He feels because he's been around for such a long period of time, people forget how young he is. And there is a case of, this is what I was worried about last season, of him playing through that injury of what condition is he going to be like in 5 years' time? Is he going to be completely just physically wrecked? Because if something else goes on him this season, and then again, he's playing through it. If we get to January and it's he's got another injury, but he's going to play through to the end of the season, brother, it's going to be because that's the concern for him, isn't it? So I would hope now that we have the squad to do it, you'd be like, right, he is back and he is fully fit, but let's manage him. Let's not play him into the ground like we obviously have done for the last 2 years or so. That's caused him to have a back injury and an ankle injury and a shoulder injury and all that kind of stuff because we've relied on him. We've over-relied on him at times, even when physically he shouldn't have been on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. Someone said Sam is back. Steffi Jenks says Sam is back. Thanks for the super chat. Sam, appreciate that, bro. Don't know where you've been, actually. But big up to yourself, man. Good to see you. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I just think like it just Rashford coming back is a big plus, but on the opposite side of that plus are some more conundrums for Solskjaer to solve because Paul Pogba's not a left winger. A lot of people are saying that. Again, I keep saying it because he's a good player. He can influence games from a lot of positions because he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He doesn't play as a left winger. When he gets the ball in the left wing, he doesn't look to beat a man and get a crossing for Ronaldo. He vacates the left-hand side to almost to play as like a false left winger. You know, when we don't have the ball, okay, fine. Exactly.
Sure.
It's just short. And on some moments in the game, it can be great because Pogba can come off the front and pull out a bit of moment of magic and a little bit of play with someone, and then we'll all be saying what a great goal it was. But for the team and getting the best out of him on a consistent basis, because that's the key, a consistent basis. We can get a little bit out of him when he might come in out there and make something happen, but on a consistent basis, I don't think we see anywhere near the best out of him. He needs to play centrally. That's where he needs to play. You know, not as an out-and-out DM sitting in front of the back four getting the ball off Maguire. No, not there. But in a functioning midfield three, where you know he's the furthest forward along with another 8 and maybe one holding. Or if you want to say to Paul Pogba, you be the furthest one forward like a Bruno and just roam around the final third in central areas, which obviously isn't going to happen because Bruno isn't really very adaptable within our system. Ollie sees him as that 10 and he's going to be that 10. That's what I was just saying there, Viv's the Road, which is why can't Pogba play where Bruno is? And that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Pogba could play there. I don't think he moves like a 10, but he can play.
Would he be as effective as Bruno though in that role? I don't know if he'd get those numbers.
I don't think he would get those numbers because he wouldn't. I don't think he wouldn't play how Bruno plays, which is literally as soon as I get it, I am looking. He would probably play a bit more conservative, but I still think he needs to be further up the pitch, but in a central area. What Ollie's doing now is this is the only way I can fit him in, and he's playing.
That's what I was going to say. Do you reckon it's a case of Pogba being put on the left, which this is going to sound crazy, but he's put on the left because it's a case. Well, I can't play him in centre mid because Fred and McTominay are playing there. They almost like they take priority, which is crazy when you think about it. But in Ollie's mind, they're the two names that are now down. You know what I mean? Now you've got Ronaldo and Bruno, obviously, but you can almost see it in Ollie's mind that he's like, well, I can't play Pogba centrally. Why? Well, because Fred and McTominay play there. They play those positions. We've got to have two holding midfielders. It's like, no, we don't. We don't need to have that. You can have one of them, but then Pogba could be up the side, and then he can be an 8 that can go further forward. But it's this weird overprotection of a back four that doesn't need protecting anymore, which just feels really, really strange. And it's a case of lack of evolution. Exactly. Fred and McTominay, they're there. So, but I've got to play Pogba because it's Paul Pogba. We've got a space on the left for now. We'll put him there. He can do a job because, like you said, because he's a good player. But that's going to become far more difficult when Rashford comes back. And let's face it, you've still got a lot of people that can play on the left anyway. I mean, Martial has been like, well, if Pogba was playing as centrally, I probably might be starting games. Or Jane Sanchez, like, well, I probably would be starting games if Pogba was playing centrally. But again, it's this domino effect of insisting with McTominay and Fred. It's leaving these other players on the bench because they're like, well, Pogba's got to take priority to get into the side. But that means I'm not playing in the position where I should be playing because Pogba's playing where he shouldn't be playing as well. It seems very backwards, doesn't it? Really backwards.
It is. It doesn't make sense. I like, this isn't a super chat, but I like comments like this, comments that sometimes you might not want to take because you think, I don't agree with that. It's all about views on here and viewpoints, should I say. NM says, guys, just listen to yourselves. You're talking all these tactics and whatnot, but nothing is changing until Ollie leaves. This channel is becoming a broken record. NM, speaking of broken records, tell me that Manchester United is not becoming a broken record. The issues that are there. You can say the channel is becoming a broken record because, okay, essentially we're talking about things. Your point is that what's the point in talking about all of this because Ollie's not going to get sacked. And if you're listening at the beginning of the show, we did kind of touch on that to say, look, a lot of people are asking for Ollie to be removed from his post, but we don't feel that's going to happen anytime soon because of X, Y, Z. So we did touch on that. But in terms of the broken record bit that you said, I'm like, well, our discussions are only going to be a reflection on the team. And the team has been a massive broken record because we keep being in the same position in terms of talking about the style of play, the inconsistency, the lack of silverware. So it's, what do we do? Do we just pack up and go home then? And just, maybe that's what NM's actually saying, to be fair. And you know what? Big up to those type of fans, because there are some fans who are literally like, oh, do you know what? I'm just not going to say anything or even moan. A bit like what you were saying, Owen, actually, at the beginning, to be fair. And that's what I mean about what NM's saying. That's why I wanted to take that point, because I think we can look at that and say, oh, why is he criticizing the channel, saying we sound like a broken record? But actually, if you look deeper into what he or she's saying, it's kind of what you were saying, which is, I'm reluctant to get really upset and into the whole Ollie needs to leave thing, because I know it's not going to happen.
And it's not going to change. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
understand that their the opinion on it, and like you said, I'm glad we're not afraid of contrasting opinions or conflicting opinions. That's what it's all about. That's what discussion's all about.
100%.
Life's very boring, folks, if everyone agrees with what you say. That's how you learn. It's how you grow. It's how you get bigger. Bigger. You get better if you just listen to other. You get better. But no, but point being is like that's what I was saying to DJ last night, is that, do I think that Ollie is the best guy for the job, or there are better coaches out there? I do think there are better coaches out there. And does it feel a bit inevitable as to where this is leading to in, say, 6, 9 months time, 12 months time, wherever it may be? Yes, it does feel inevitable, but I'm not going to sit here and like rant and rave that he should go tomorrow and get myself all worked up when I know for a fact that's not going to happen. You have to almost manage your own expectations and be like, I can have my opinion on what I think the club should do, but I also have to be realistic and balance that up with what they're actually going to do. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important thing. And at the end of the day, we're still fans of the club. So you still even have to support, whether they're winning or losing. You can voice your opinion, but it's at the same time as not getting toxic at the same time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And because you care about your club, what we do is, like Owen said, even if it's going wrong and it's something we can see that's not going to change, it's not going to stop you being emotionally attached to that. And some people, to be fair, like NM, have the ability to say, well, I love the club and I cannot be emotionally attached until I see anything change. 100%. Yeah. I think that's a lot of people's problem. They don't understand how different people support the club in different ways. That really
and also it's difficult for them to see like someone like the Glazers, who almost don't have an attachment, or their attachment to the club is far different to our emotional one. Theirs is a business attachment of, well, I'm just looking at dollars and cents, you know what I mean? Whereas you're looking at passion and enthusiasm and the want to win, and that's not how they look at it. So of course we can't. So that's why we get frustrated, because they're like, if you really cared about winning, you would make changes and all this kind of stuff. But that's the conflict with the modern football fan and the way that clubs are run nowadays, unfortunately.
100%. Forgive me if I get your name wrong, but Oluwademelere, hopefully I've said that correctly. Apologies if I haven't. Says, our team defense, e.g. pressing, containing, tracking runners, playing in the block, playing in the zone, etc., remains lackluster in so many phases, and this is more due to inadequate coaching. I can't disagree with that, bro. And Pablo says, random comment, probably controversial. Do you think Fernandes could work as an 8? Pogba suits style as a 10 role, could easily rotate. Could you have Bruno in an 8 position?
I don't think it's controversial. I think there could be it depends on how fluid you play. There could be a situation whereby you say for 15 minutes Pogba, you go and play in the 10, and Bruno, you go drop in the 8, and you rotate and you pull defenders in and out. You could do that. I don't know about having Bruno as like an 8 for the entirety of a game, but again, that depends on your system. If you're playing a 4-3-3, you're looking at Pogba and Bruno being as 8s, essentially, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's how you work. And then but they'd be 8s that are playing really high up the pitch. But that comes back down to coaching. That comes down to how you coach the side and how you manage the players. That's the thing.
Yeah, he does. Someone said there, Bruno plays as an 8 for Portugal, and some people may say, yeah, but he he's rubbish for Portugal and stuff like that. There's other times when they've been all right, but he does play in a 4-3-3. So he usually plays on the right of a 3, and then you might have Moutinho in there, or Neves, or Carvalho, and stuff like that. So he does play as a 3. They don't play with a 10. So I think it can be done. I really do think it can be done. NM says, no disrespect towards the channel. My apologies, guys. Thanks for the response, and that's fair. I'm just so frustrated with Ollie. It's the same thing every week. This man is driving me crazy. NM, firstly, no need to apologize. That's what you're going to get here. If I see that, yeah,
that's a great segue.
100%. Yeah, exactly. No need, but on a serious note, no need. People don't need to apologize for having their views and opinions. And like,
Never.
I'm always able to kind of look at things and say, well, is that person really trying to get onto you, or are they trying to say something else? And actually, we can open up a wider conversation. And I think that's exactly what you've done there, NM. So no apologies needed, and big up to you. And agree with you. It is frustrating. It is frustrating.
Very.
Tog says, let's not forget that Ollie was a temporary solution. He was, but he isn't now. He's very, very, very much a permanent solution. That's why hence he got a 3-year deal. So, even when he got to the end of the last deal, to get another 3-year after that, you're a permanent solution. But I take your point. Initially he was, but he did so well that they gave him it on a full-time basis. And Oluwadu Malaire says McFred covers our terrible defensive coaching. And they don't even maybe do that well, I'd say, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? Another thing that was in the news today was about Juan Mata considering his future in January. And I'm like, well, of course. Like,
yeah, I thought that
this
was
is
really
why in the
weird.
summer I didn't get it. I thought maybe when they gave him the extension, does that mean he wants to see out his career here, maybe do his badges and go into a different role? I know people think that's a bit sentimental. We need to get players like that gone, but I don't think you can underestimate that you need players in and around there who've kind of been there, done it, been a bit. You need one or two. You do. In
Senior
any
pros.
office, you need senior pros. In any retail job, in any office job, in any work on site. If you're an electrician or a plumber or a tradesman, wherever, law firm, you need experience around you. And that experience might not be at the forefront of everything going on each day, but in the background, they're really important. So, we don't really have much of that. I know Phil Jones is there. Lee Grant doesn't count as that at Man United, although he gives experience. Tom Heaton, not so much. So we've got quite a young squad. Matic can be that person as well, and he's actually playing more games than Mata. Other than that, who is there? Romero's gone as well. He's kind of been there a long time. It's not really anyone.
I suppose
David
technically De Gea. Yeah, I was going to say De Gea almost, I guess. But
yeah,
no, I'm with you. I think when it comes to Matt, like I said, it was a surprising one because it was like he's considering his future because he's not going to get game time. And it's like, well, what reassurances did you get in the summer? Because everyone could have told you, well, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
And now he wants to, and now he's thinking of
exactly.
leaving. I don't get it.
That seems, unless he just went, right, we're out of the Carabao Cup. I'm not playing. So I'm definitely gone now. That was my only chance of playing this season.
Actually, I'm not going to play till February until the FA Cup comes. So
exactly.
You're right, actually. In fact, that's probably what it was. And let me just stress that that's not, Juan Mata hasn't come out on his personal Instagram page and said, I'm thinking of leaving. There's a few reports that are saying he will consider offers in January due to lack of game time, which I just see it as, well, yeah, of course he's going to have lack of game time. Why was that not thought about beforehand? Fozy says, I know Ollie won't get sacked, but do you think Conte can win us trophies? Can he bring back United to the top? Why are people again Conte? Why do they want Conte? Well, JA says here, I don't really like the PE teacher thing, but he's basically saying Conte is 1,000 times better than Ollie, is what he says. And a lot of people are saying that as well. I think the Conte thing just comes with the track record, isn't it? Like when you see him at Chelsea, you see what he's done, what he's done at Juve.
Conte, it's because he wins trophies, isn't it? It's because he wins trophies, and everywhere he goes, he's pretty much won the league title everywhere he's been. I think that whilst that would be attractive to United, my concern would be, and I know people will be like, but he would win things, is that how long-term is a Conte at Manchester United? He was at Chelsea, remember? He won the league in his first season, and then immediately it was like he wants to go back to Italy. He signed a new contract that wasn't an extension. He just signed on for more money, and then he was gone at the end of the year. And look, they won the league. That's all they care about. And he won the FA Cup, didn't he, the next season too? But you do wonder of like how sustainable is having him at the club would be, like, I guess, the counterbalance to that one. You know what I mean? Because you could certainly see a scenario where he might be successful. And look, he's a better coach than Ollie. There's no doubt about it. He's a better coach than Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. But how long would he be there? And then in 2 years' time, are we in a situation once again where we're like, well, we're looking for another coach again? But I guess those people that would be like, well, at least Ollie wouldn't be at the club, right? And we would have won something.
Exactly.
That's what they would be saying.
I feel like there's a counter argument for everything, and I feel like a lot of people are like, we can't be picky. We just need someone who's going to do something with this squad. Because in 2 years, where's Ronaldo going to be? In 1 year, where's Pogba going to be? Other players as well. We need to tie down Bruno to a longer term contract.
Yeah.
There's but at the same time we've got players for the next 10 years if we want in Rashford, in Sancho, in Mason. So it is a bit of a one where you have to say there's two conflicting sides. Conte, would I take Conte? 100%. I would take him.
Oh, yeah.
I think he could be there for like 3 years. I could see him at maybe 3 years. I say if it went well, I think he could be there for 3 years.
I was shocked when he was linked with the Spurs job in the summer. I couldn't believe he would go there. I was like, man.
Yeah. Neither could he. That's why he said no.
Yeah, but apparently, wasn't it more a case of him going, "I want these coaches," and they were like, "No," and he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they were like,
I won't
no.
come here. You need me.
Yeah,
I don't need you."
Exactly.
Strange.
Pablo says, on a happier note, told KG a ticket for the Liverpool game. As the other guy can't make it, let me know how to share with him. Told KG there's a ticket for the Liverpool game. As the other guy can't make it, let me know how to share with him. Oh, what? So you're saying that you have a ticket for KG? Okay. I'm sure you can touch him. Just give him a DM. And I'm sure you guys can work that one out. Jeez. KG at the Liverpool game. My God. Not sure if I'm
do another road trip with him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That would be a bit nuts. And Ray Diaz says, besides Bruno and Pogba, do we have anyone that can provide the service that Ronaldo needs? Sure, ? I literally know nothing about football, by the way. Well, it's a good question considering you don't know anything about football.
Yeah.
Do we, Owen?
We have players that can get assists in the team. Absolutely. I mean, you would be hoping that's why you bought people like Jadon Sancho for, right? Is to be getting assists and providing that kind of service for. Lots of people, why they're saying that they want Dallo to play irrespective of if Wan-Bissaka's suspended or not, because he can get crosses in the box, Big game for him on Wednesday. Massive game for him on Wednesday. Because look, if he puts in a good performance and he starts putting crosses in the box and Ronaldo gets a couple of goals, then Wan-Bissaka could be like, oh, because we said it before a ton of times in the summer, didn't we? That if Kieran Trippier came in, he'd play far more games than I think people thought he would be. Man United weren't interested in him as like a backup signing. They absolutely weren't. They were thinking like, mate, he can get. And now we get Ronaldo. You think of his set piece delivery and his ability to cross the ball.
A lot of games. Trippier would have played a lot of games.
100%. So
he really would have.
Interesting.
We'll have to see. Guys, I tell you what, we may have reached it. We are 4 subscribers off of 75,000. Come on, guys.
Just 4.
We are 4.
Just
we are
4.
4 subscribers off of 75,000. Can you believe I've used 75,000 subscribers already?
It's crazy.
It's incredible.
It's crazy.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
Like Thanos, you can click your fingers like that, so it'll be like 75. Bang.
Oh, it's crazy. I'm super proud of the community, super proud of everything. And guys like yourself, and then people involved in the channel. It's just it's been brilliant, and it's just we're just on such an upward trajectory. We're growing every day, every minute, every hour. So big up to everyone. So hopefully we can hit that 75. We've just hit it. Look at that. 75,004 people. I've got no bombs. I'm pressing. Oh, that was all right. That was good. I've got no KG sound effects, but big up, man. Just as we're finishing off, love that. We've just got to 75,000. So now I can officially open. I don't even know if people do it at this stage, but I'm just going to do it because I'm just making it up as I go along. We can officially open the Road to 100 Club. It's officially open. 25K to go. Let's do it. Road to 100K. Wow. Imagine when we get to that. That'll be insane. So big up to everyone supporting the channel. Big up for everyone having their views, whether they're positive, whether they're negative, whether they're criticisms of us, whatever. Big up for everyone saying what they want to say, how they want to say it, because that's what you're going to get here. You're going to get the chance to have your say. We're out of here, man. Road to 100K, like Connect Real says. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Tomorrow, we've got reaction from the press conference. I'm sure there's going to be a press conference tomorrow. So we'll be having a reaction from that as well as a review of the game. So make sure you guys join Owen tomorrow afternoon for that. And then we'll have a Flex and KG show as well in the evening. So, and then the next day is game day, match day. So yeah, guys. Oh no, I didn't watch Boondocks as well. D-Swiss. I have to check that out. Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like if you are new. Subscribe if you are new. Peace.